Because we got generations, and my mama, they come from a generation where they so programmed, like to school and education and formal education, like self-education don't even exist with people like that. So it's like you got this level. Now you got the new kids. They saying that they don't want to work, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do this. So it's so many levels and generations that we have to undo. So how could you do that when you gotta put it into you. Yeah. You gotta be the change, and your change can be so impactful.
You're gonna stay in that same realm until you do. Like, we're the only species on this land that have the ability to choose when, where, how, or what they want to do. You got tons of other animals, but their capacity is limited because they don't possess what we possess.
Right. Well, I can do everything. I want that type of flexibility, like brands, this, ambassador deals, everywhere. I want to be flexible into the way where I can shape and mold myself into whatever it is I want to do, as well as that flexibility with the time and back to move. But right now, that's what I want. I want everything.
Ideas Inspire Information Podcast, powered by Lok Enterprise. Here's your host, Braxton Holley.
Now, it comes many points in your life when you get to meet people that can transform other people's lives, and not only transform other people's lives, but transform your own life and watch them transform their life. And when you begin to understand that the transformation of life is the direction you need to be going, then you begin to transcend. Now, that's a lot of transcendentation and all kind of transcendental conversation there. And if you're not yet astute to what I'm talking about, that means you are in a transformation of yourself, something that you need to learn in order for your mind to be better. I often say that the mind is a terrible thing to not use, but if you're not using your mind, what are you doing with it? Are you allowing the screen time from your phone, from your television, from your work computer to control what you're doing, where you're doing it, and how you're doing it? Or are you being in control of yourself and knowing that you have the power to do and be whatever you choose to be? See, a woman that's sitting beside me today has done all of those things, continues to do them, and more. Now, I have a long list of accolades that woman has been, is, and continue to be. But first, I just want to welcome you to not only B. Price, not only Miss Priceless Motivations, but Brittney Price. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
That was dope.
I'm glad to be here with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here too.
Now, you know, a lot of times people have to go through long periods of times before they can say, hey, let's sit down and let's talk. But from the first time I met you and listened to you, I knew that you were somebody I can talk to. What do you think you attribute that to?
Coming up around my grandparents.
You got older grandparents?
Yeah, I got one left, and her birthday was just Wednesday. Happy birthday, Bunny. That's my grandma. She just turned 73. She is so beautiful.
That's a blessing. I got one left too. Her birthday was we just had 90th party for her.
Oh wow.
A week and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Shout out to them Aquarius ladies. But I think that's what it is. You know, I came up around, me and my daddy and mama, we was like that. And I had all of my grandmas and my great-grandmas. So I had that pleasure. And a lot of people don't have that. And I always say, like, you know, a lot of people chasing money, they chasing fame. And people like, how you stay grounded throughout doing everything you do, it's because of my grandmas. You know what I mean? Like, I always think as I move, I'm like, will my grandma be proud of me? Like, what will my grandma say if I'm doing it? That's how I stay grounded. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so from everything that they've given me, all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, like I used to literally listen. They used to do stuff in front of me, but you know, you got to take heed. And so I used to always pay attention. And like I can tell stories like from way, way back. And people were like, how you remember that? Because me and my grandma was like, we was like this. So I credit that to my elders.
You can tell a lot about a person by the way that they not only listen to people, but the type of people that they're around.
Right.
And the way that they're going to grow and develop as a person.
That's right.
And that right there brings me back to that first time I listened to you speak and the things that you were speaking about and how sure that you were. Like there was no maybe or I think. You were confident
What did
in
I
the things
say?
that you were saying. We were at Studio Life After Dark. Make sure y'all tune in to Studio Life After Dark if y'all hadn't done that yet.
For sure.
But we were there, and you were just talking about the simple concept of men and women's roles.
Okay.
And there was other stuff.
Yeah, I would say refresh my memory, yeah.
But sometimes in the economy, not the economy, but in the society that we are in today, it's not even a blurred line, it's just no line.
Right.
It's just, we are just people, you know. Everybody just can be what they want to be. I was talking with somebody as a therapist, and just the things that they deal with that are going on in people's minds.
Right.
It has me at a baffled rate.
That's right. I took psychology in college, 101 and 102. And my Sheesa, I always try to get me. Her name was Miss White. Shout out to Miss White. Sheesa, I always like, change your major and come back. Because just the mind, I used to always just study. I study people, you know what I mean? And so I used to always be intrigued on, like, the things that we would be coming up with, should be talking about from the past, is like, why? You know what I mean? I just try to dig. And she used to try to get me to be, to change my major, but it was just like, it was so complicated. It's simple, but it's so complicated, like dealing with people and dealing with the mindset. Like, it's a lot. And I just saw early I would be drained, so I was like, I'm gonna keep that over there. I can't do that.
Hey, that's interesting. I was thinking back to college when you said that, and I had a friend that was a psychology major, or philosophy, or one of those two, and I said, if you can understand me, you will be great at what you're doing. Long story short, they changed their major, so that didn't really happen. But I do want to get into a few things and praise you on these things. Now,
come on, praise.
Excuse me that I don't have them all in my mind because the list is long. A mom, Priceless Motivation, 1186, Smash Bros Radio, speaker, mentor, mind coach, author, podcaster, and then you had just been published in last November in Voyage ATL.
That's right.
Now, how big is that trophy case room you got?
It's not big. We still working. We still working. I don't feel like, I'm in a transition with acceptance right now. You know what I mean? It's like people see me, it's like I was saying earlier, and they'll be looking at me, and it's like, they'll be like, Brittney Price, or they'll say Priceless Motivation, or they say the Grand Includes Weekend. So I'm like, these people, I'm in that stage of like digesting it. So I feel like I haven't scratched the surface.
That's good. I like
that. It's a lot that I gotta do, that I want to do, that I need to do.
That's the epitome of a mind is a terrible thing to not use.
Yeah.
You're using all aspects of your brain, because that's a lot to juggle. Just being a mom in general is a thing. But then I just listed 15 other things that
that's true. And that's why I respect parents, period. They don't have to just be a mother. Shout out to the fathers. There's a lot of single fathers out here as well. Parents all together. Like, it's really hard trying to chase after, attract, things that you want and still be a mother, still be a father. Like, parenthood is a serious business. Yeah. Like, it's a lot. Yeah. So, hats out to everybody that you don't have children.
No, man.
Okay, well, don't have none. But it's a lot. It's a lot. So I will give myself some credit and say, for me to be able to be consistent and still, I'm a mother, and that's every day. I can't put that down and decide when I do it. I do an okay job. Yeah.
I'm sure you do well. Let's roll clean into that authormanship of your book. What's the name of your book?
I have a workbook. It's called The Ultimate Confidence. I have a book. It's called The Non-Perfect Guide to Parenting. And I have another one that is called Trust the Process, BITCH. I can say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just describing, yeah. I ain't
Trust the
even
Process, BITCH. So, workbook is just like some little short stories, just trying to help people just build their confidence and just going on showing, like, when people in these predicaments, what they do to build their confidence, or ways you can help somebody to build their confidence. And then the Non-Perfect Guide to Parenting, of course, I'm a mother, so I just want people to know that it's not a perfect way to be a parent. You know, we don't have a book. So it's things that you can do, you know, go back and see what you didn't like your parents did, and then you can adjust. So it's all about adjusting, compromising, because they are little people. So I want people to really, really know that. And so the third is it's like a healing type of vibe. It's trust the process. You know, we go through a lot in love and relationships, and we think that we beat ourselves up. We think we're supposed to have it all together at a certain age and here, and there. But, you know, you go on and you move on and you heal from things. So it's just like trust your process. And the B word is like, you know, that's what we say.
Yeah, it's astute.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, pay attention.
Yeah, it's endearment. You know?
When you began writing, have you always been a writer?
Always.
Yeah.
I used to write. I can, like, my imagination, I used to make up all type of stories. Like, I used to write poems. I used to write raps. You know, I'd be like the freestyle, stuff like that. So I always been a writer. And my grandma, she was a calligraphy teacher, so she taught me how to, like, write on white paper. I can write, like, I got a great handwriting.
So did that
Like,
writing come from you knowing that your handwriting was great, or
Yep.
just so many ideas coming from your mind?
I had a good handwriting, so I used to always love to see and, you know, just develop my penmanship. And then my grandma, she an artist too. This my grandma I was just talking about. She an artist, so she used to, like, draw stuff and stuff like that, but she used to always write. So I used to watch her write on paper, and it was so pristine. Yeah. Like, she got a good handwriting. And I love ink pens and stuff, so I used to always be writing, like, ideas, all that. I got a binder. It's $1 billion binder, and it got, like, all type of ideas.
Hey, we got to get to work.
That's why Pinky need to get the sesh. I'm trying to get down there. I'm trying to get down.
We got to get started on them ideas.
I've got started on a lot of them. But they always coming. So I'm always jotting. So it's like, man, I got some stuff.
Yeah.
I got some stuff.
I was just thinking, could have been earlier today, but I was breaking down to myself, and I always do this in many different ways. It just happens based on a situation that you're in. An idea is not information until it's acted upon.
That's right.
And so that burning desire inside of you is what inspires that idea to create itself as information. Like, you can think of things all day, but they're worth nothing until you act on them.
That's right.
I see that you do a great job with acting on those things, from writing, because not writing is one thing, but going the extra mile to say, I'm going to publish this book, I'm going to put this out there. And just like you were saying before, you coming into a new realm for yourself, that's interesting to me that you don't like to be on camera just based off of the quality of a speaker that you are.
Yeah.
The ability that you have to write and bring those ideas from the triple darkness of your mind into the world.
Right.
That stuff is beautiful. And that's a new form of genius in today's society. I think there are more genius now than there have ever been. We just don't recognize them as such because it seems normal.
That's right. I say that about my baby. Like, right now, my baby, even when she was in my belly, you know, I used to play Mozart and Beethoven. I used to roll. Like, me and my baby, we got like a level of communication. It's like, it's unspoken. So she has a level of genius that she has tapped into. She's 6. She's about to be 7. Hey, Court. And so I see it. You know what I mean? And I felt it when she was in my belly, but now it's like I'm able to actually see it. And my baby, she is a genius. Like, her mindset at 6 years old is out of here. It is, she there. And I know it's plenty of her, you know, little ones just like her walking around too. So shout out to my baby.
Shout out to your baby. Now, since you know that you have a mini genius, I want to break down your geniusship, because it takes a genius in order to groom a genius. Now, Miss B. Price, let's talk about priceless motivation. Mm-hmm. Now, that's something that has to be burning inside of you, because that's something that has to, you got to be a different person to want to motivate people, because A, you need to motivate yourself. Yeah. B, you got to be in the right head space, be in the right spiritual space. You got to be in the right space, period, in order for people to listen to you. I watch you, I mean, you post every day, all day. And it burns me to say, man, I'm not posting enough. I'm not telling enough people. I'm not spreading this word to enough people. What's that burning inside of you that wants to motivate people to be their best selves?
Because I know it's possible. I haven't always been my best self. So, you know, ever since I was little, it was like that's who my mama. I got my docu-series. We still working on it, but I got some clips on my YouTube, so y'all go and check that out. Go and subscribe to my YouTube, Priceless Motivation. We drop shorts over there every day.
See there she go, y'all.
So,
she doing it right now.
So when I was little, I used to write stuff down, and I told my mama like what I was gonna do. So I was like really manifesting my life. I used to watch The Rich and Famous all the time, you know, planning like my house and how I was gonna be. And I used to tell my mama like I'm gonna go through school, I'm gonna graduate. I never fail a class. I'm gonna go to college. I never fail a class. And I ended up being her first child to graduate from high school and college. And it's like ever since I've been little, I always saw the ability to do. You know what I mean? I knew it was possible to do. I always do more. I always be better. Like the fact that it's possible, and I've been through it, and I always been this person. I did the work. I did this. It makes me want to do it more and do it more and do it more. And now that I've done it, I want to tell people about it. Now I always been like that as well. When I was in college, they used to call me the female Dick Gregory because I used to be so full of information. So I'm like, I need to get this out. I need to let these people know this out. And it's just like I've always took action since a little girl. I've always took action. I've always been like the go-to person for a lot of people. You know, people confide in me. And so just the fact that I know it's possible, I want people to do. I know it can be done because I did it. So I'm my example, you know what I mean, that I know it can be done. I use techniques and I've used them all on myself first. So that's how I know that it's possible, you know.
I want to get into the mind with that.
Priceless Motivation.
That's beautiful. I want to get deep into the mind with that because I think that people have been programmed for so long that seeing something different is immediately ridiculed.
Yeah.
But it's like a switch when they see what comes out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they often want to, just people in general, do something different, get out of that box that they in, deprogram themselves, but they don't yet know that they are programmed.
Mm-hmm.
And how to get out of that box, how to get out of that structure of this continuous cycle. If you start looking at people, I've only done this a couple times in my life. Sometimes I'm able to get outside of myself. And see things from a different perspective.
Right.
And when you're able to do that and see the cycle and the monotonous actions that you continue to make, you have to find some type of way to get out of that.
Get out of it, right.
So it's like when you're a little kid and you see them getting in box, but they having so much fun based on their untapped imagination.
Yeah.
In the box, but you looking like, why are you in this box? What are you doing in this box? Get out the box. But really, that's a training mechanism to say, no, I want to put you in this box to do these things that have already been programmed to me. And so, if you look at that whole programming structure and say, okay, it started way before me.
Right.
It started before the people before me. And so now it's just it's like your right hand. You know how to program yourself before you even know that you are being programmed.
Right.
And so I see a lot of people deprogramming themselves now.
Yeah.
Seeing things, being more vigilant of things that can be.
Right.
With the power that they have inside of themselves.
I agree.
I see a lot of that power in you now. I got a list of power right here. Being not only a mentor, but a mind coach. Because I love to talk about the mind. You know, it's a terrible thing to not use. Because the mind cannot be wasted because the mind is always working.
Always.
What up, y'all? I'm your host, Juice Man Jay.
It's your boy Drew D, the word man.
And it's the one and only Jewel. And you're here with us at Studio Life After Dark.
Man, Studio Life After Dark is the hottest podcast in the city.
We the opinion of the people, man. We the opinion of the people, man. We really just putting it out there, man.
And don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Studio Life After Dark.
Man, y'all can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and also YouTube.
Hello.
Market tips, hottest car, studio life after dark.
Okay.
What are some steps that people can take in order to get out of that cycle?
Acceptance. The first step is acceptance, I say, because that was my first step. And I always say it to a lot of people. You got to accept what you're going through. You got to accept the reality at the moment too. You know what I mean? We sugarcoat and we keep trying to bounce around what's not and what we want it to be and what is. When you start letting go of what was and what had supposed to be, then you can start living in that reality and digging in that moment, living in the now, you know, and start getting down to it. So you got to accept that you are going through something, accept that you are in a situation that you shouldn't be in, accept that you allowed yourself to get so deep in this situation. I mean, even from we just speaking, like you said, generational wise, like we got to accept that. Because at a certain point, after we started to know, we were still allowing it. And we're still allowing it to an extent, you know, if you haven't accepted it. So you got to accept that you are in something so you can be able to accept that you need the help and you need to work on yourself.
That's tough.
Everybody don't accept, you know, seriously, like that's a lot of, you know how many people walking around in denial?
Yeah, they don't even know.
And even if they know, they'll keep psyching themselves out because you can do that. Like if you driving home or something, you've been drinking or something, you just keep saying, I'm not drunk. Like, and you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you try to psych your mind out and you try to psych your mind out, like taking other steps in the wrong direction instead of psyching your mind out to take the right steps in the right direction. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's the same energy, positive, negative, just a decision, you know?
Yeah. Being able to accept things is tough because now you in a realm with people where they don't understand themselves.
Right.
Where you gotta learn about yourself.
Yeah.
Where you gotta take time to say, is this the type of person I am?
Mm-hmm.
What type of person do I want to be? How do I come to find that person that I desire? And sometimes you run into roadblocks. No, actually, all the time you're going to run into roadblocks.
Exactly.
You're not going to understand some of the directional steps that you need to take or why you need to take them in order to get to that point. I often say you got to go through something to get to something.
That's right. Go through it to grow through it, baby.
Hey, I like that. I'm going to have to take some of your quotes today. But that acceptance for yourself is like a becoming of yourself. Mm-hmm. Until you become of yourself, you will be what you've been trained to be, what you've been programmed to be, and it's a robot. We really are living robots that have malfunctions. So when you see somebody do something out of the ordinary, all the other robots think that you malfunction.
Right.
They think that you doing something crazy. Why you doing this? I fast one time for 7 days, only drinks, and my friends were like, man, you gonna die.
Yeah.
Die. Cause I'm choosing not to continue to eat the poison that is given to me. No. That's based on a programming structure.
That's right.
And when you find that for yourself, hey, the game changed.
So we frown upon what we don't understand because, you know, we don't want to do the work. I put that in my story. I say, you know, a lot of people don't want to change because change requires work. It's easy to be ignorant. Yeah. You know, it's easy to be lazy. It's easy to say, I don't know. Because if I say, oh, I ain't know you supposed to go that way. Now, you didn't have to go that way. Yeah. Or you get a pass, so-called, because you didn't know. So when people don't want to do the work, you know, they going to frown upon the things. It's right. That's right.
Folks hear that a lot about things being uncomfortable or being uncomfortable, but like it's really important.
It is.
You have to be uncomfortable in order to get somewhere because you're gonna stay in that same realm until you do. Right. Like we're the only species on this land that have the ability to choose when, where, how, or what they want to do. You got tons of other animals, but their capacity is limited because they don't possess what we possess.
Right.
With that possession and the mind being a terrible thing to not use, Brittney Price. When you found out that you wanted to make a change, when you found out that you wanted to do something different, how was the acceptance of the people around you in that direction?
They always been with me.
Yeah.
And that's a strong part of like why I am who I am. My support. Like we got a family up north. My mama and my grandma and they from up north. And then we got, I got my daddy and stuff like that inside here. But everybody around me, like I can never be the person to say, they don't support this or that. Everybody around me always supported me. And I know it sounds so crazy because you have people with bad stories. So I would tell people, you don't have to have a bad story to motivate or inspire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I went to college. I'm from the projects. You know what I mean? But I always had support from as little as I can remember. I was 6 years old. I was doing my mama's feet. I was like, let me do your feet. She let me do her feet. I've been doing her feet ever since. She let me do her hair. I was 6. You know what I mean? So everybody around me, they always believed in me. My uncle, my mama, I never had people like, she can't do that. They always just knew that I could do it. And then the fact that I knew that they had that belief in me, I wouldn't let them down. So that is, it's kind of different from me in that avenue because I always had, and even like now, whatever I do now, I just make sure I stay consistent. And with consistency, everybody's going to get in line. Like people just support me naturally. Everybody support me.
Yeah.
I don't know if nobody don't like me. I don't know about that because I focus on the support because it's so heavy. So I don't know about that. It's different for me in that aspect, And I know that's something a lot of people can't say, but I value that. I don't take that for granted because it's not too often. Now that I'm just like sitting here processing this, it's not too often that people have support from, being a child on up. And I've had that.
I got a question. What do you think is more important, consistency or persistency?
Persistency, because persistency is pushing through. You can be consistent, and then consistency gonna have some things that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
But being persistent is like another level of consistency because not only are you being consistent, now you find through the other inconsistencies of your consistency, if that makes sense. Like, so you piling other things on top of that and still being consistent. You pushing through on a whole nother level. So that persistency, like in life, it is essential. It's essential. Like I can do this. I do what I do every day. Like I cannot wake up and not do videos because it's
but you don't
God.
like being on camera.
I don't. Like I like recording my own self.
Yeah.
Cause I be like this.
Yeah.
And then you have to find angles. I'm not like, I don't like all that. But to be persistent, I wake up, something going on with my baby. Now I got to not only think about, I still got to do this video, but now I got to find that different type of energy to push through, still do the video, still cater to my baby. So I'm going to say persistency.
I think that's why you are already past the level of the beginning stage. Because for those that are already consistent, they're in a phase of persistency.
Right.
I think that consistency is really important for those that are just starting because they've never done anything that they've had to keep doing.
Exactly.
And so as soon as you stop, your consistency must start over. And then when you get to that point where you say, okay, well, now I'm consistent at this, that's where that persistency, I believe, kicks in because it's like, all right, now I need to take this to the next level. I need to develop whatever I'm doing to be more efficient, more directive. I got to find a lane versus just doing something every day. You know, a driver can just drive every day. Just keep driving. But if you don't know where you're going, you got to stop driving at some point.
That direction, right. Got to have that direction.
So that direction is really important. When it comes to...
What's more important to you? Consistency or persistence?
I think it's based on the task. I think it's based
that makes sense.
on whatever it is happening because, you know, for this show, for example, I've been inconsistent with it for 2.5 years. But I've continued to do it. It's tons of, and I don't even like to use the word excuse because excuse is just a simple concept of it's not important enough for you to do.
That's right.
So I've used that as saying, oh, I'm not where I want to be. I don't have nobody to talk to. I mean, I talk for myself. I got my own brain.
Come on now.
I got my own information. I'm not being assertive to the things that I know because I'm choosing not to.
That's right.
So, I think it's different reasons for each one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I should have said that. It makes sense.
No. You said exactly what is important for yourself.
Yeah,
And
it is. At this, like you said, at the particular level, at this level, consistency, just that's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't feel like you can really teach people to be consistent. So it's who I am. It's always been who I am. I watch my mama. I watch everybody around me, whether they do good or bad in life, whether they're a criminal or a scholar.
Yeah.
They consistent in what they do.
Yeah.
So I always seen consistency, and I always been that person. But you know what I mean? To be able to push through at this level now with a child, and you know, yeah, you gotta have that persistency.
I'm gonna go just a little bit deeper into
For
consistency and persistency. So, just like you were saying, a scholar but a criminal, they didn't get good at what they were doing just because they woke up that way. They consistently continued to do it.
Exactly.
And so then, all right, so it's levels to this life thing, and so you got a general thief and you got a general knowledgeable person, but then you have those that are at a new level. You got people that can go in and infiltrate billions of dollars, and do it criminally, but not be caught,
untouched, right?
And so that falls more to the persistency side.
Yeah.
They can keep going and infiltrating hundreds of thousands. Yeah, I'm consistent at that. That's all I want.
Right.
Like maybe if we talk to who is it, Bernie Madoff or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madoff.
Yeah, he was persistent.
Yeah.
But it's folks walking past us right now that can consistently, hit little licks. But
to take it to that next level with that particular direction, when he knew what he wanted, and he did it.
just like LeBron James.
Shout out to Bron.
He is where he is because he is persistent.
That's right.
The NBA players are consistent.
That's right.
LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. You start talking about these Michael Jordans. You start talking about these guys that are not only Hall of Famers, but household names to people that never even watched them play.
That's right.
It's because they were persistent in what they did, not based on the products, not based on the business decisions, but they had to be persistent to get to these points in order for everything else to come.
Right.
And so, as you see people like transforming their lives, and kind of just figuring it out. Like for me personally, I know how consistent I am at things and persistent I am. And so if I see people doing things and I'm like, the time value that you are, I'm not even gonna say you wasting time, but you're not even using the time allotted to you.
Right.
Like we're allotted the same amount of time on each day.
That's right.
But what you do with it is your ability to, transform yourself.
That's right.
And when it's bigger than you, you start saying, I'm not only transforming myself, I'm going to transform the things that are happening around me. I'm going to start making a difference for people around me and they don't even have to know it. Like, if I do something and in 5 years it makes $100 million, well, now the people around me also made not the same 100 million, but they
in that lane.
Yeah, because they continue to work with you. They believed in your vision, and everybody can't be the person.
That's right.
It's a role to all this.
That's right.
It's everybody got their own spot, and in order for any of us to get there, we got to play our own roles. We got to play our positions properly.
That's right.
And so, just like we was talking about Mike, without Scotty and without without Rodman.
Yeah, he wouldn't be who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
You definitely got to give him that credit.
High quality role players.
Right.
How do you show people that their role is important when they aren't the face? Because a lot of people want to be the face.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has a role, and when you tell somebody that how you listen it, well, I ain't gonna say that. You gotta always let people know that it's levels in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you at this level, you got to make sure you clapping for the other people because you're going to be at that level. So that's one way how I get a little more deeper, but you know what I mean?
Let's go.
No, I mean, I'm just saying like how I started to tell people that right there, it's levels to life.
Yeah.
And who I am, I always with this person. When you see Jordan, when you see Mike, when you see Kobe, you read up on their story, they weren't always that person.
Yeah.
So you got to always let people know that, when you on your way, we are all transitioning to become better people every day. So you're going somewhere, but while you're in this transition, it is focal for you to clap for other people and be excited for other people, because right now, if you play your role the best, whatever you, I don't care where you at in life, you better give it. And I tell people this, like, and so I don't care if you cleaning up. Do your best, because that's going to only determine what you're going to get later. Like, you cannot go hard. You got to go hard in your now in order for you to receive that future that you want or whatever it is you want. Like, be the best where you at right now, and God going to ensure you get everything you need. But you got to play your role right now. Like, it don't matter what your role is. It doesn't, not no crazy stuff, but play your role right now to the best of your ability, and that will ensure you having everything else that you want. Whatever you see, what anybody else want, anybody else have, you can have that. You got to play your role right now.
What you want?
What I want out of life?
Yeah. What's in that future that you are persisticizing through? I like when I create these words.
I'm like that too. I thought people be looking at me crazy. I be creating some dope words.
And they tell me it's wrong, but you start
It's
breaking
not
down.
wrong.
You create a word based off of all words were created.
Exactly.
So anything I say,
it's never wrong.
Real.
I'm telling you.
I just gotta believe it.
That's what
you
I
wrote
do.
a book. Everything in that book is real for you.
That's right.
So, hey, look, we'll be out here all day now. Go ahead. Say what you saying, now.
What I want out of life is, right now, what I want out of life, I want flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And not just flexibility on a level where I can move around and do what I want to do when I want to do. I want flexibility in these ideas and all this stuff that I got. I want to be able to bend and move, and I'm an author. I can speak. I can do. I want to touch everything. I want flexibility, like in a way where everything is me. I am one with everything I do. If I can think about it, I can become it. I am here. I do this. I do this. I do this. I do this. I want that type. Like, I'm everywhere. I can do everything. I want that type of flexibility. Like brands, this, ambassador deals, everywhere. I want to be flexible into the way where I can shape and mold myself into whatever it is I want to do, as well as that flexibility with the time and be able to move. But right now, that's what I want. I want everything. I want everything. Like,
discover yourself, embrace it, and unlock the potential within. This is the I Am Courtney Chandler podcast, streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. We shine a light on people who are making strides in the community and making our world a better place. And we discover the I Am, embrace it, and we unlock the potential within. Follow us on social media. I Am Courtney Chandler podcast on Instagram and on Facebook.
Everything. She want everything. Let's break down what everything come to, and we'll actually, as a matter of fact, we'll start to roll it in after this. 1186 real artesian water.
that's what you got in your hand.
Tell me something.
Well, let me get you a full bottle.
Okay.
I'm the brand ambassador for 1186 Real Artesian Water. It's right here from Montaukaville, Alabama.
Okay.
We use the best plastic money can buy. This is a 18.5 PET. Feel it durability. You feel it? It's not
Yeah.
It's not cheap. That's the best plastic money can buy.
It's flexible.
Yeah. It's everything. Everything that you need. It has 18.5 PT, so we use the best plastic money can buy. It's a 6.9 pH. It's the official state water. We have a bigger top right here so you can quench your thirst quicker. We blow our bottles in-house. This is not shipped and imported. We blow them right there in-house. And it's the best water literally that money can buy. No chemicals, nothing added. It's artesian water. It comes from 800 feet up underground. So it's contained in the aquifer. That's like an underground body of water. It's contained by limestone and clay. It pushes itself up on its own pressure. So we don't have to do no extra this, no extra that. Like, it's pure water. I taste it right from the well. Atacavia is the land of water. So when you go down there, you'll see people like with jugs. They at all the wells trying to get water. It's pure water. And I'm the brand ambassador. And I need y'all to get that. 1186 Piggly Wiggly Marino's Food Giant Food Outlet. We on the rise. We about to take over. 1186. Get your fix.
1186. I like this. And so I got a couple brands up here with me myself. These are also black-owned businesses. So that you got over there is the Urban Soul Cafe. Based in Birmingham, soon to have their own location.
Okay.
And teas and just herbal things for you. Not always, finding it out, in the box at the big box at the stores. Like this actual loose leaf.
And that's
tea.
how I got a lot of bags. That's how I get mine as well. So I fix it myself.
A lot of people forget that the tea bags, even the ones that say non-bleach, is chemicalized to be able to create that bag. There's toxins in it. I don't even want to go that far into that toxin structure, but
that's why it's so important, and to shop with the smaller brands because they're giving you more insight of the process.
Yeah.
When you get into somebody asked me, and they was looking on the bag, and they was like, "Yeah, it don't say it coming. It say right there, and it has it on there." Atacavia, Alabama. So when you got other waters, you don't know, and I'm not, I don't even want to get into that type of conversation, but I mean, when you got the bigger brands and the bigger products, now you get into, the supply and demand has to be so crazy. I got to add this preservation, such, so on. So now you getting into chemicals. But when you shopping and you supporting at that smaller level, now you can really see, you get the insight of what they're using, what chemicals they're using, because they don't have to ship everywhere and it's not as big. So at this level, you're really getting a bang for your buck. That's why you got to support early,
Folks forget to look at the nutrition facts. I don't know if you follow Surviving Vegan. I listen to a lot of things. And
I don't think I do.
On the front, this what she often say, the front is for your entertainment, but the back is for your education.
That's right.
And when you start looking at your water and everything stays zero, that means you got water.
I mean,
when you look at your ingredients and it has no ingredients, that means you got water. Because you start looking at stuff, probably all kind of.
And you can't tell, I tell people this all the time. It's like they're like, well, I'm drinking this, it got this, and it got certain electrolytes, and that. These are foods that you're supposed to be eating. They give you the things that you need.
They come out the ground.
Right. So it's like when you're looking at this water and you seeing potassium chloride and salt, and potassium chloride is the third step in the lethal injection. Yeah. So you look, and they can't tell you, we put this dosage or we put this dosage. Yeah. They can dump a whole bunch of it in there.
As much in they want.
And you getting killed slowly. Yeah. With everything around us, so we not exempt.
Softly.
Yeah. Shout out to L Boogie. But so you're not knowing what chemicals this is, but when you can look on the back and you can actually see it, that's why I be telling people, try it for yourself. Don't take from me. Go look up this stuff that's in this water. Look at these ingredients. Look at where this water is coming from. These people do not know. So you go do your own research. Don't just take it from me. Don't just take this bottle and listen to me saying it's well water. Go down there to Atacavia and look at all the wells. Go put your cup up under the well and taste it for yourself. Do your own research.
Yeah, I done had that 1186, so I can attest to you right now.
It's good water.
Real artesian water.
It's real artesian water.
Now I want to come back over here to Bridging the Gap Coffee Company.
Come on, Bridging the
Gap. It's also a local brand. So what my friend did here, he went over to Kenya, and he does business directly with the farmers over there.
No middleman.
Yeah, no middleman.
Okay.
And so I've been watching and working directly with these two because I'm really, it's really important to me to be well. I mean, you can't do things well if you aren't well.
That's right.
You gotta you gotta put things into you that are gonna get the most out of you.
That's right.
So, health is wealth is a real statement.
Right. And I always say, that's just like the car. You got to look at your body like the car. If you don't have that gas in there, you're not going far.
You're not going far.
You're not going far.
If you don't often take that time to, get an oil change.
That's right.
You're not going to be able to go much further.
All right. Well-oiled machine. You gotta, that maintenance, that upkeep is very, very imperative.
So I want to do a quick highlight on why and what I've learned from bridging the gap.
Okay.
Coffee is like, I think like the second highest commodity in the world.
Coffee is connection. Shout out to Alicia's Coffee too.
And so with coffee, have you seen the instant coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if you know. I didn't know this at first, that it actually is not supposed to dissolve. Coffee don't dissolve. Like a coffee bean does not dissolve.
Okay.
And so that's the reason why when you
that.
see people making fresh coffee, they pour the grounds over, filters and through French press, because it doesn't actually dissolve.
Okay.
You just absorbing the nutrients. It's just like a tea, but it's just,
And I had some of that instant coffee. I grew up drinking coffee since we was like 3 or 4 years old. We used to do coffee, and then we take bread and butter and put the butter on the bread, and we dip it in our coffee.
I never been a coffee drinker until, I'm not even a coffee drinker now, but I do drink Bridging the Gap.
Bridging the Gap. I got to try that.
I get you taken care of.
Okay.
And I don't know what coffee is or is not supposed to do, because,
it's mental. I don't think it does nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever done anything for me. I'm going to be honest. I think it's just mental. That's a mental thing.
I think, from my experience, I agree with what you said. What I have found for me is that it's not like a kick of caffeine. It's like, and I mean, this might be based on several other things, but like, I find a place of sustained upness, not energy or just extra, but like, if I know that I need to be up a little later tonight to do some work, I have me a cup, and it's not like I'm wired.
Right.
I'm just still up.
I think it just come from labels and association. We just been programmed like that. Cause you automatically think coffee, upbeat, coffee, energy. And even if it don't give you energy, this is what you associated with it your whole life. So that's why I say it's mental, because my mama, she like, I get a frappe sometime. And I get it because I like cold stuff like slushies and stuff like that. She'll say, I need it to get up and clean this house. Shout out to my mama, Cole. She watching my baby right now. And she'll say that, and I'm like, you don't need it to get up and clean the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now you got her associating, I need this in order to clean it. Exactly. So now every day, if you telling yourself this, I'm going to go get one every day, and this is what I'm associating this label with, so now I'm going to do it. When all the while, it's mental.
Yeah.
So you can really get up and do it anyway, but that labels and association, we program. Coffee, it can warm you up. You can drink some hot tea. I'm a tea girl.
Yeah,
so,
I'm definitely a tea person.
Tea, it gives me like a sense of warmness, and it gives me a comfort. It's not for, but I like when I'm drinking teas, the right teas and stuff like that. But coffee, it gives a lot of people that warmness, and it gives them that settledness. And then it's like, but you associating it with energy. So you can associate it with what you want to associate it with. If I'm finna go to sleep and wind down, I want something warm in my body, I say, I'm gonna drink me some coffee. I drink some coffee, I'm gonna wind down, because that's what I want to do mentally.
Yeah.
It's mental. Coffee don't do nothing for you. But it's good though.
I said, I never been coffee, I never even, I joined Bridging the Gap not only out of support, but it's actually a good grade of coffee. I mean,
it definitely, because they go into the source. That's why I was like, what I mean?
Straight to it.
That's always better. You don't have all that processed stuff.
Yeah.
It's pure. And that's the thing about us too, the fact that we're not used to tasting pure stuff. We used to tasting processed stuff. When you start, it takes time for us to get into,
your taste.
you know what I mean? You got to acquire a taste for the right stuff, because we've been eating the wrong stuff for so long. So, nasty stuff is good for you.
Let's talk about that real quick before we get out of here. the things that we ingest, the things that we consume in order for us to operate in certain ways, do you feel like our consumption levels of certain things alter, I don't want to get too scientific here, but alter like
Come on,
the way that we
scientists.
think about things and go about things based on what we're consuming?
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that's going on with the kids, a lot of the studies coming back saying it's everything dealing with the gut. All these kids on medication. They take the pill where the pill going. You know, in the gut, it's being broke down, processed. Whether it's sitting there, we don't know what it's doing in there.
Your first brain.
Right. So, yeah, it definitely has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. We are being poisoned. We are being poisoned, like live and in color. So of course you taking poison, and what it's doing, just think about it, you drink some poison. Now you dying slow. If you drink it instantly, you gonna have these reactions and these convulsions and things. But now we taking it in these moderation levels. So you're seeing throughout life, this child, now he acting, he on ADD, now he on medication, and then he go in high school, he come with a gun. He's going through these different levels. Whether I would drink the poison directly, they're doing it in moderation. So you're seeing all this stuff that's acting out and all this stuff they're doing, it's what they're consuming. It's just happening, it's not happening all at once. It has to have
In
levels
time,
to it. Exactly.
As times break down and we start to see the things that are happening, because I think for older generations it was a little bit different. There was a less poison value.
That's right.
And so
my grandma said the milkman used to put the milk on the porch, and they used to have to drink it in 3 days.
And it used to come in a glass jar.
It used to be in a glass jar.
Yeah. Now you can. Yeah, I don't even drink.
And glass is the best for it to be in. So now you got the plastic. You got to think about the chemicals in the plastic.
Yeah.
You got to think about they preserving it now. It lasts almost 15 days to a month. So what can you be putting in it now?
Yeah.
For their preservation. So it's a whole nother level.
And that's after you've put something into the cow to produce.
Exactly.
So now it's like you just drinking
and you're torturing the cow.
Yeah.
Then you got to think about the cow mental and the emotions of
and
it's
all about the almighty dollar.
Right. So I've been showing my baby those videos too. And my mom was like, I shouldn't, because we're trying to get off meat. So I've been showing her like.
See, I was trying to roll us out of here, but see me, I cut all that out last year, 2022.
So how do you feel? Do you feel it? Okay.
Yes, I feel a difference, but I also have mentally been different.
Okay.
A, and B, I've already was in a place where it wasn't like it was a cold turkey.
Exactly.
There were things I was already doing by choice of consumption. Yeah, so it's like, all right, well, I can cut that out now. Right. So it's like, if I do eat something now that has a dairy type product in it, I feel it.
And that's what we doing. Like cheese, I don't buy. We been stopped eating like eggs and cheese and stuff. So it's like that's what I'm in the phase of doing. What you said, like we're doing stuff by choice now. So it'll make it easier. Hopefully, it'll make it easier for us to just be like, we eliminate.
What's gonna make it easier?
What's up, family? Antoine Williams here, and I'm the host of I Am Devoted podcast. And I just want to introduce myself to you. Listen, my show, I Am Devoted podcast, is all about making biblical truth accessible to the believer who is living a devoted life as a disciple of Christ. Listen, if you are that believer and you need somewhere to tap in, you can find me on all social media platforms. I am on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I am on TikTok. I can't wait to see you there. All right, y'all. Go in peace, family. I love you.
If when you say, all right, I'm gonna take 10 days at a time and be real astute about what I'm about to do, and then that day that you do eat something or drink something out of that, you'll feel it.
Okay.
That's when your mind will completely change.
Okay.
You will feel it. It's like a thing. I feel lighter, faster. Like when I was going back over to get some things, in my mindset, I feel like I could just start floating right now.
Yeah.
Just like you feel different without saying, oh, I feel different today. There are days that I've woke up, that I wake up and it's like I can feel the mucous membranes being restricted.
Oh,
Just
wow.
like in my nasal cavity. And excuse me right now, it's been cold lately. But, and I can attest it directly to something I ate.
Right.
And once I figured that out, I was like, oh, I have complete control
Yep.
over
Yep.
what's happening to me,
Yep.
how I feel,
Yep.
the things that I want and need to do.
And that's how simple life really is. Like, you really have control over. You have control over it all.
Yeah.
How you want to look, how you want to feel, how you want to move, who you want to hang with, who you want to deal with. Like, you control it all. You know what I mean? I just had to say that. Like, that was real profound.
No, so for me, and this is a personal thing, I gotta get out of my way, and cause I be trying to save everybody. I be like, you got to stop that.
Yeah, you do.
But you can't. You just gotta wait for people to like see and feel certain stuff for themselves.
Yeah, be the change. Long as you doing it, and that's simple as well. That's what like I told you that when I was in college, I used to try to get so much information out, and I started realizing like people, I'm trying to help you, and you telling me, girl, you acting like Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
So it's like I started to realize like I gotta preserve myself. I got this information now. I can control who I want to give it to, and who I would want to see flourish from it. But overall, it was like, you can't help everybody. And
you gotta start putting yourself in them environments.
Yeah.
Like, so for me personally, it hasn't been tough because I'm mentally in a place where I know it's not tough. The tough part is trying to find somewhere that can feed me the way I want to be fed.
Right.
That's the tough part. It's because you don't have to eat every day. You eat every day because you choose to. Because you've been programmed to eat 3 times a day. Eat this type of food this time of day.
Yeah.
This type of food this time of day.
I know somebody that say that. And at first when he said, he was like, I don't do food. It was like, I don't really have to eat. And for a minute, I'm like, I thought he was being funny. And he worked a lot. So in working a lot, I can see how they can really get, you don't really have to. And he was like, I don't really have to eat. I just drink some water and I'll be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of times, you'll catch me eating on the go.
Yeah.
Because when I get to where I got to go, I ain't got time to sit down and eat.
That's right. That's right.
I got time to sit, I got to go make the food. And I'm attesting that to, the time. But,
you're busy.
Yeah, you don't have to, because you're not eating to get full. You need to be eating to live.
Eating to live.
And then you need to eat living foods in order to live.
That's right.
Like, we're not synthetic beings, so we don't need to be eating synthetic things.
That's right.
Look, we'll be here all day.
And that's just like, when I was about to get ready to breastfeed, let me say this real quick. When I breastfed for almost 4 months. And I was stuck on, like I told you, I used to talk to my baby, and I used to always say, like, I rub her, and I'm like, you gonna latch on, Courtney, because we gonna do the breastfeeding thing. Because I couldn't get weak or nothing like that. So I was like, we really gonna breastfeed. And when she came out, I vividly remember it was right here. I had her tucked like a little football. And she just came out, and I put her on my breast, and she just latched on. And the lady was like, I never seen anybody like latch on like that. And I was telling her, like, I just refuse to know this milk is coming. I don't know, the factory milk, the Similac, all type of stuff connected to it. That's what's really messing up a lot of these children's stomach and got a lot of these children like going crazy. That Similac messed us up. But and it was that, and then I was like, even the regular milk. And I'm like, I want to breastfeed. And I used to, every day, this was like my mantra. I used to be like, just rubbing my stomach, like, you gonna breastfeed, Courtney, you gonna latch on. And she latched on, because it was just like, I could not do that. I didn't want to get her that milk. You know what I mean? And I saw the difference when I had to go back to work. She had to be on some milk, and her sleep, she slept so much better when I breastfed her. It's just things the natural way. And I'm like, how we gonna be drinking this cow milk? Yeah. Like, we people, and we drinking this cow.
Cows don't drink milk after they done babies.
It's just crazy. So I'm like, I cannot do that, and we can't do that. Like, we really out here looking crazy.
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
When you really get down to the bottom of it, we really out here looking crazy. So when we know better, we got to do better.
How do we do better? How do we choose to do better? How do we get out of that? Not because we got the information.
We do.
We got it. Like, there are other countries that we visually see that have things that we have that are illegal. And in the foods,
I was just having that conversation yesterday. They got so much illegal stuff in,
And so, but we continue to,
programming. It's like you have to undo it. It took time to get there.
Yeah.
This been going on for hundreds of years, from the foods to the mindset to, you know what I mean? So it took time to get there. So I can't say that we can just undo it. That's why my biggest thing is be the change. I will do everything that I can at an efficient level. And I know people watching me, you know what I mean? And eventually, I always say positivity takes time. You know, don't never say like, oh, well, they ain't paying attention. It takes time because negativity has always been the center of the programming. You know what I mean? Bad stuff always been the center of the programming. So it's going to take time to get there. Positivity takes time. How much time? You know, we can't say, but we have to keep doing. You know, you have to keep being a change. That's really, I never had an answer for that. I get asked that a lot. Like, how do we do it? Because we got generations, and my mama, they come from a generation where they so programmed, like to school and education and formal education, like self-education don't even exist with people like that. So it's like you got this level. Now you got the new kids. They saying that they don't want to work, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do it. So it's so many levels and generations that we have to undo. So how could you do that when you gotta put it into you?
Yeah.
You gotta be the change, and your change can be so impactful that it starts sparking his mind. So you got to do what you're doing at an efficient level so it can spread out. You might not save the world, but you can say you gonna touch some people.
Yeah, I seen that in the simpleness of just doing. Like, you don't know who you touching, you don't know who you inspiring, you don't know who you helping to do anything until you stop.
That's right.
Until you haven't done it.
That's
because
right.
Then they like, hey, why you? I love watching. You know, when you said this, and those things warm me back up. Sometimes you'll do something, you be like, man, ain't nobody paying attention.
Don't think twice about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Ain't nobody watching this. It's okay. I can miss a day.
Yep.
And at that point, that's when you have lost all the momentum. They now see that it was not important enough for you. You now are not being able to help them go through what they're going through.
And you lose that credibility for people to want to look to you and follow you. Because now, even though you don't think they paying attention, they are paying attention. And they paying attention just to see how consistent you going to be. If you really about what you talking about. So that's why you have to keep doing. I told you, I can't wake up and not do a video. It's God sent. Like, everything for me, like, I can't complain about being a strong one. I can't complain about, because God gave me this role. This the role, like, ever since I've been a little girl. And so he gave me everything. I'm equipped with everything to know when I want to put my phone down, when I don't want to be bothered with people. He gave me everything I need to fulfill this role that he placed upon me. So it's like, you can't stop. I don't get tired of this. I don't get tired of picking up my phone, doing videos, going through old content. I got like 7, 8 phones. I have to go through content, go through and recycle content. I don't get tired of it. Like, I'm called to do it. You know what I mean? So it comes easy, but you definitely have to keep doing, because that's the only way people gonna keep seeing. Now I'm at this level. Now I want more. So now I get some type of recognition. Now I go to this next level, and then I got more people seeing me. That's how you bring about the change. Really, just keep doing. You have to keep doing, and you're going to keep reaching, and you're going to keep reaching. Now you're reaching different crowds, and you're reaching different people, and it is no limit to how far you can go with it. It's no limit. We limitless, for real.
Yeah, you can do anything that you really put your mind to.
I'm in the stages of grooming my baby. Like, that's our focal. We talk about that every day. Like, just pushing her, like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Because 6, 7, and 8, I feel like it's real essential to, like, get a hold on her mindset. That's when, like, bullying and crushes and, you know what I mean, a lot of stuff starts. So our talks, like, we be having some good talks right now. Yeah, shout out to my baby. I love my baby.
How can parents do the things they need to do for their kids to be in the place they need to be in?
How can parents do what they need to do?
let me say that. Yeah. How can parents equip themselves in order to equip their children appropriately? That sounds better. That sounds like something you put on a magazine.
Yeah, it do. it hit. You got to give yourself everything. You got to make sure you don't forget about you. You know what I mean? Because if I have me a good weekend at the lake and I'm relaxed, now I can go home and I can give Courtney more. I can do more. I can be more patient with her. So I think the key is to not forget about yourself and stop. We be so guilty as parents. We don't want to buy stuff. We don't want to do this. Do everything you need to do for yourself. Like, go on a trip. Get the good food, do what you need to do, keep filling you up, you know what I mean? And you need to have people around you, that village, filling you up. Hey, I get it for a couple hours, you need to do this, all that. You need that because that's how you gonna stay full and being able to give her what she need because you full. Yeah. And you got a lot to give, you know, and you don't mind giving it because of course it's your child. So I think we can't forget about ourselves. Keep filling yourself up, keep building yourself up, and then you can give her the best. Because if I'm not whole, if I'm not no good, how I'm gonna give it to her? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have to have what I need, and I'm big on that. Yeah, I love me some
You can't feel an empty glass when your glass half full.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So don't feel guilty as parents and I don't want to buy this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to go there. Like, do that. Do that. Yeah. The more you get out in the world, the more trips, you get more perspective, you bring it back, you put it on your baby. The more you go do stuff, now she's getting more culture because you going to see and you bringing it back. It's just like like the bird, the mama bird, she's in the nest, the baby's in the nest. They go out in the world, they go get them some, come back, and you know what I mean? They sitting right there while they go get the stuff and they bring it back. And that's what you have to do as parents. Like, you get out there and get out in the world. Don't feel bad for going to do stuff and having fun. You need to bring them back to your baby. She need to see this, she need to see that. So you got to keep on going as a parent and filling your cup up so you can be able to get them what they need. You got to be full.
Yeah, I told y'all we could do this all day. It'll keep flowing, but I ain't gonna keep her out here like this all day.
I don't have nowhere to go. That's him.
Well, see.
Busy.
We ain't gonna stay out here all day like that. Look, I thank the Brittney Price for being here with me today.
I like that.
I thank her not only for being able to come here and open herself up and have intelligent conversation with us, but having the ability to know that her mind is a terrible thing to not use. She's using her mind in ways that a lot of us want to, but it really only takes that switch. You chose to do these things. You chose to come outside of your shell. You chose to, be on camera today and you don't like being on camera. You made choices in order for what's coming to you to be fruitful.
That's right.
I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, but
I enjoyed this. Yeah,
it was easy. All I had to do was hear you one time, and I knew that your mind was in the right place to be able to do the things you need to do.
Right. I appreciate that.
Hey, look, it's many things I know that we can continue to talk about, go deeper into, break down. And like I said, we don't want to sit here all night.
Yeah.
Because it's daytime now. By the time we get through, the sun be came back. New revolution.
Hey.
But, yeah, that's a conversation in itself.
It's definitely one.
Thank you. Check out Real Artesian Water at 1186. Go hit me for it, because I love when you do it.
Go and get that 1186 Real Artesian Water. Piggly Wiggly Marino's Food Giant and Food Outlet has the best prices in the city. If you would like 1186 Real Artesian Water in your businesses or your places of dwelling, please reach out to me. I can connect you to who you need to see so you can carry 1186. Y'all make sure y'all go to 1186water.com if it's not in your area and put in your zip code in the store locator so you can see if it is in your area. 1186, get your fix.
Brittney Price, I thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
I want to let y'all know. Go ahead and get your 1186 so you can make it in your Bridging the Gap coffee.
And with you.
And with your Urban Soul. Because this tea gonna get you right. And this coffee gonna get you right. It might not do nothing for you. Brittney already told us that. But it's gonna get you right.
It's gonna get you right.
And so this is the water you want to boil with it. Because if you boil the wrong water with your stuff, you still good bad. You bad at being good.
That's right.
So, be all the way good.
That's
Brittney,
right.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This was good.
It was.
Hey, look, we might have to run this back at some point.
Yeah, because we got it was a lot of stuff that we could have talked about.
Yeah, we just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
We'll do it again, y'all. And I'll let y'all know first when we gonna do it. Meanwhile, don't let your mind be wasted. Always use it. The mind's a terrible thing to not use. Until next time, We'll see y'all. Or y'all will see us. We'll see each other. We might need to do a meetup or something. Have a sit down with everybody.
Yep.
You know, just get that whole field over there, sit out in the middle of it. You know,
Yep.
had a standstill with information because they want to learn.
That's a good idea.
People that have changed their minds.
You can take that on the road and start doing a seminar. It's like you could have the brainstorming.
You gonna be there?
Yeah, to what dates I can. Like, you can literally, like, you know what I mean? Like, dates like this could be tour, you know,
All right,
tour dates.
Let's go on tour. Hey, look, Brittney Price just said it. Ideas inspire information, finna go on tour. You know, the whole concept of understanding that the mind is not a terrible thing to waste, but a terrible thing to not use, because your mind can never be wasted.
Amen.
Hey, we going on tour. It has been spoken. You know, she has spoken.
Seriously. And I'm the manifestation queen. Like, I honestly say that by myself. Like, I could see that. I could see this. I could see you doing that.
Come on. I'm just getting warmed up.
I
I ain't even
what you need me to do.
Unlocked a quarter of the potential that my mind possesses. You know, if y'all, I'm gonna drop the commercial right here, but you gotta reach the potential possibilities that your mind possesses. And if you don't understand that you have potential possibilities within your mind, you will never possess.
That's right.
We're already abundant beings living in an abundant life. Well, take hold of your abundance. Hey, look, we do this all day.
Limitless, baby. You ever seen that movie?
Yes.
Okay.
The mind isn't a terrible thing to waste. The mind is a terrible thing to not use. Come and join us in learning the potential possibilities that our minds possess. I'm Braxton Holley on Ideas Inspire Information. Be a part of our solutionary community and connect with us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Looking forward to seeing you there. Man, I tell you, I got to talk to Brittney Price today, and just the insight that she possesses is in a different realm. It allows me to think about things in ways that I don't often think about them, understand things from a different perspective, and be able to say, okay, maybe I should look at something in this direction. Maybe I should understand the things that mothers go through, or even just break down the processes that it took for her to become the person that she is by understanding that her mind was a terrible thing to not use. I enjoyed really being able to speak to her today, because most times we lose the ability to understand that talking with people is the key. To communicating is the key. And once you're able to astute, if that is the right word, communication in a contextual way, in a way that says, oh, this person not only has the knowledge, but has the ability to distribute the knowledge. That's what's going to really change what's happening in the world. That's really what's going to allow people to become the people that they aspire to be. So I'm really, really glad I was able to sit with Brittney Price today and be able to become a better person for myself and the people around me, because her knowledge is going to be able to allow me to teach others and help others and show others different ways to do and think about things.
I enjoyed being here today with Ideas Inspire Information. I enjoyed it, first of all, because, I do not like sitting down with people. I don't do it too often, and this really gave me a sense of I'm actually comfortable. You know what I mean? I'm actually comfortable, and I have a new perspective on wanting to sit down, because now I can see that it's just a conversation, and I love to talk. So I got a new perspective being here today. I also have a certain respect for you, because when I saw that this was what you do, and this is complicated. I love to see, and I love to talk to people behind the scenes, because they have a different perspective on life altogether, because they're always looking at stuff from different perspectives. You know what I mean? From a different lens, if you will. So I have major respect for anybody like behind the camera like this. So like to see, when I got here to see this whole set, like, this real deal. So I respect the movement, and I thank you for having me, and you really gave me a new look on. I need to sit down and talk to some people, because I don't do that. I do not do that. So I enjoyed it, and I thank you for having me. And you really expanded my approach to how I am going to stop declining interviews, because I do. Priceless Motivation. But I appreciate you for having me. Thank you. This was interesting. I'm looking forward to being back.